Aviatrix addresses cloud cybersecurity with its cloud-native security fabric. According to Aviatrix's recent survey of IT professionals, two-thirds of organizations struggle to integrate cloud firewall into their broader security stack, leaving dangerous gaps that attackers can't exploit as workloads communicate across cloud environments. Cybersecurity teams must move at the speed of the cloud. Joining us is Doug Merritt, CEO of Aviatrix and a longtime innovator in cloud infrastructure and security. Welcome, Doug.
Thank you, Sydney. I'm very happy to be here.
Now, Doug, what has changed in security for the cloud reality we're in today?
That's a great starting question. If you go back, really since the advent of technology, even back to the mainframe era, there was a really simple approach that people took to try and protect the really important and sensitive assets that every organization has. The servers, the storage arrays, the applications, the databases that they want to guard to make sure that bad things don't happen or bad data doesn't get out. They put all those great assets in a typically well-guarded area with badging and background checks for the people that went in and out to ensure that they were safe. And then when they eventually connected those data centers to the internet, they shifted all their energy on protecting the data center from the internet. The internet wasn't built to be a safe network. It was built to be a really effective and pervasive network. And that worked really well for decades and decades. When we move to the cloud, everything changes. Each one of those assets that you're trying to protect, the applications, the databases, the servers, et cetera, now generally is its own perimeters being moved to the cloud, kind of like it's its own data center. And the predominant mechanism for having all those things be connected and communicating is the internet. So radically different landscape, very different philosophy and perspective if you want to be effective in securing your landscape in the cloud.
Aviatrix recently introduced cloud-native security fabric to close these gaps. So what exactly is cloud-native security fabric?
It is it is intentionally built to address this problem. We called it a security fabric, or called the term or the category a security fabric, to really portray if you want to secure those assets, you need something that is pervasive. It's got to sit and observe all the communications between those thousands or tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of different workloads. So it is able to watch as it's deployed natively inside these clouds for each organization. But then just as importantly, it's able to enforce actions. If you see a database having unusual communication with something that's not supposed to, it's great to be able to see it. What are you going to do to actually secure it, to stop that from happening? So it technically is helping protect what people would call egress traffic, all the internet connections for these workloads, east-west traffic, all the communication between these workloads, and ensure that you've got the policies and controls to keep your environment safe.
Doug, what is the partner opportunity here?
It is extraordinary because we're filling a space that isn't filled right now. To do that effectively, we partner with virtually everybody that organizations have already invested in. Most companies are investing in scanning tools, things like Wiz, to really get that visibility across all their clouds. We have a brilliant integration with Wiz, actually just won an award for that integration. We're the enforcement layer around that scan. Many organizations have got endpoint security and want to make sure that there's not a malicious actor on my computer or on my phone or on any of those stateful things within the cloud. We integrate with the CrowdStrikes and the endpoint detection entities out there. A lot of organizations are worried about identity and access. Companies like Zscaler, Netscope, we integrate there. Those are complementary as well. Our difference is we're in the fabric of the cloud, monitoring the communication and providing controls between the workloads inside the cloud.
How is AI intensifying the problem?
AI and serverless are radically intensifying the problem. And AI in particular in two dimensions. As everyone's reading about, the volume and intensity of cyber attacks is going up as the malicious actors are now able to leverage the power of Gen AI, both for more aggressive attacks, but then more consistent and persistent attacks. AI never sleeps. So we'll continue to see the attacks going up. But just as importantly, the way that organizations deploy AI intensifies this problem. Most AI functions are ephemeral and serverless. You're deploying a whole new set of workloads and technologies inside the cloud. And the communications between them and the data that they carry is incredibly important in most organizations. We're typically using AI to help us with critical tasks. So it takes a really bad problem, a massive uncovered attack surface, and then this puts it on steroids. The exponential curve of, man, I just 10x that environment makes the demand and need for a cloud native security fabric that much more intense.
Doug, great conversation. It was a pleasure having you join me here today.
Oh, thank you, Sydney. I enjoyed being on.
To learn more how Aviatrix can elevate cloud network security, head to the website on your screen. For the Channel Company, I'm Sydney Neely.